All right, guys, right behind me here, I've got the Aerie 12-foot XXL double camping hammock. And we're going to take a look at this today. We're going to let these coals burn down a little bit. We're going to chuck a steak on there, and then we're going to talk about this bad boy. This is a great hammock. Don't go away. For those of you who follow my channel for a while, you guys know I love wild camping. Now, I've done many overnighters, and well, we got a really nice trip done a couple of years ago. I'll put a link up here for you guys to check it out if you want to see it. When I did a nice hammock camping trip, 53 kilometers through Algonquin Park, braving all kinds of things, and I slept in a hammock that whole time. And I'm telling you, I wish I would have had this one with me because it's got a lot of smart things in this hammock. Now, full disclosure, everything that I'm going to show you today has all been purchased by me. Yes, I am part of an affiliate of Onewind Outdoors, and I've joined their affiliate program and an ambassador for their product. But I will be these three things that I have on me at this moment have all been purchased by me. There may be some things coming to me in the future that'll be for free, but regardless if they're free or not, I'm going to give you my my 100% honest opinion. Well, whether anybody likes it or not, that's how I roll. So let's get a steak onto this little fire here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I really like about this hammock. Stick around. Listen to that sizzle. Hit that with a little bit of Saskatchewan black spice. This stuff is delicious. So when you purchase one of these hammocks from Onewind Outdoors, you get the suspension, you get the buckles, continuous loop, you get the bug net, you get the hammock, you get the organizer, you get the ridge line, you get the stuff sack, and of course the other end of the the other end of the suspension. That all comes in the kit, and it weighs in at 2.8 pounds or 1.27 kilograms. Now this hammock from end to end is 12 feet long, and it's a generous 68 inches wide. So there's tons of room to get cozy in these things, and you'll be able to get a nice diagonal lay, which allows you to lie nice and flat. Total win. So the material they use for this guy is hexagon-shaped ripstop nylon, which is more strong than the square or the diamond-shaped ones. And this material, the way it feels, it feels absolutely great on the skin. Nice and soft and smooth, really comfortable. Absolute win. I've had many hammocks made with material that you find gets very scratchy. This one's super smooth, and it's abrasion resistant, which is pretty good. Nice durable stuff. So obviously I can't tell you how I can't show you what size it is when it's all packed up, but it would come in a pack similar to this guy right here, and it would be 11 inches long by 4.7 inches wide, or basically 28 centimeters by 15 centimeters. So decent size pack, and nice and comfortable. And believe it or not, there's actually some room still to squish it on down. So if you wanted to put that into another stuff sack to really tighten it up and get it as small as possible, you could do that if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and close this bug net up real quick, and we'll take a look at it. Then I'm going to peel her on back, and I'm going to hop in and we're going to see how it feels. But I wanted you to get an idea of how the bug net works. So basically, you pull the bug net right over. Once you've come past your end here, where everything attaches, like your whoopee sling and your continuous loop and all that, we'll just go ahead and lock her down, and that's it. You're set up, ready to go. It's quite simple. When you want to get in, just lift this guy up, peel her up over your head. Make sure I got nothing in my pocket that can poke holes in this thing. Sit the hammock down, get the old feet in, and then just simply pull this little cord lock here, and that'll lock the bug net up right under you, and you will not have to worry about mosquitoes. In a 365-degree area, you'll be mosquito free. And oh my God, this is comfortable. You may wonder why I went with this kind of model opposed to one of the ones that have the zipper that goes around the other side. Well, I've had two different types of models. One that was similar to this. It was on my Hammock. Very good hammock, very comfortable, very expensive. but the bug net didn't fit all in the same stuff sack as the hammock. So I was constantly carrying around multiple bags for my setup. Where this, I've got my suspension, I've got my hammock, I've got my straps, I've got my bug net. Everything fits into one stuff sack, which we've got down here at the end, and it sits in there very comfortably. Not an issue at all. Problem solved. On my other hammock setup, which is the one I had in my in Algonquin Park, I'll put a link up here if you want to see that video. On my big trip last year or the year before, I took that hammock out there. Great setup, but I've actually had some issues with the zipper trying to get in and out. You're bursting for a pee in the middle of the night. You can't get out, and you're trying to unzip the zipper. And my zipper actually got stuck a couple of times, and it was causing me all kinds of issues. And I finally got fed up. And one night I had to sleep with it open because I was afraid that I was going to tear it, and I needed some tools to be able to fix it. So that said, this is why I went with this. This setup, super easy, super simple to climb up in under. All it is a cord lock with some shock cord. It zips it down tight. You got 360 degrees on there. There's no zippers to look for in the middle of the night. Which side was it on it? Nothing like that. Easy access, in and out, not a problem. But that said, we will not need this today. So let's go ahead and take this guy off, and we'll stuff it down at the end here. Not a problem, and we'll get comfy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a real-time setup with this thing. We'll see how long it takes us. Let's get it. So as you're watching me set up this hammock here, this is actually the first time I've ever set up this particular hammock. I've actually taken it out. I took a look at it. I kind of got an idea of what kind of quality I was dealing with before I came out here and decided to shoot this video. But this is the first time I've ever set up a hammock with cinch buckles before, and nothing's been arranged yet, like any kind of setup with the ridge line or anything like that. So all of this is all brand new, and we get this thing set up pretty quick, somewhere around the 4-minute mark on the first go ever. So for the most part, most hammocks that I've owned anyway, unless they have like a daisy chain type suspension strap, all these flat straps are all pretty much the same. They got a loop on one end, and you just wrap it around the tree, pass the strap through, get it nice and tight. Now you don't want the pressure to be in the loop. You want it to be the pressure along the tree. So you just kind of set it up nice and straight off to the side a little bit, and it takes the pressure off the stitching. Using the cinch buckle is really easy. You pass the strap through above the clip, then below the clip, and then just pull tight. And that's it, pretty much. Once you got it set up, you just hold on to that little bag and start pulling while you're walking, and everything pops right out. And then you just repeat the same process. Once above the clip, once below the clip, pull it tight. And then once you add a little bit of pressure, everything locks into place. Really nice. Now that we've got both sides set up with the cinch buckles and the straps, it's only all about just leveling it out and getting it good and centered where it's going to be hanging nice and comfortably. And then we'll have to move on to the angle of our hang. Oh, way too high. Now that we've got the straps through the buckles on both sides and we pretty much got it centered in the trees, we want to adjust the hang on the hammock for the first time. Now, we're going to use the whoopee sling for this. As we pull the whoopee sling and tighten it up, it brings the two ends of the hammock closer to each other, which creates more sag in the hammock itself. By doing this, we create a more comfortable way for us to lie down in a diagonal lay. So instead of going from like a banana where we're going side to side, we just kind of go on a diagonal to the ends of the hammock, and that actually makes it much more comfortable to lie flat in your hammock. Now, the beauty of this is once you've got your hang set up with your whoopee sling, that's pretty much a set and forget. Now, all you have to do is set up on your trees every single time, but your hang should remain the same every single time. So you'll always have a repeatable setup. which is real nice. Tie them off. So that's pretty much it. We got the hammock. The hammock is set up, pretty much ready to lie in. I think we should go ahead and check it out, see how it goes. Now, we may need to adjust just slightly the ridge line with the whoopee sling, but we'll get into all of that very, very shortly. But that's your hammock set up in very, very little time. Although we are still a little higher on that side than we are on this side, but fine tuning, easy peasy stuff. So I know I mentioned there's a few things about this hammock that I really like that were smart setups about it. Now, let's get into this. First of all, I'm going to start off with the cinch buckles. Cinch buckles, fantastic. Because as long as I've got my end of the hammock is right here. So from here to here, I mean, we're looking at what, 4 inches from the bottom of the hammock, from the bottom of the buckle. Now, I could actually bring this buckle, if I had a tree right here and another one right over there on the other side, I could set up this hammock, not a problem. My old setup had whoopee slings in here. So at the smallest they would go was almost 2 feet. I guess around 20 inches or so, where it attached to my hammock and where the end of the whoopee sling would go. And then you had the carabiner, which attached to your strap on a tree. So it kind of limited my tree selection of where I wanted to hang my hammock. This solves that. I could actually put a tree right here on right at the buckle and right at the buckle on the other side and still hang my hammock, not a problem. Real nice. Now I know it sounds like I'm talking crap about whoopee slings a little bit, but where whoopee slings shine, in my opinion, is on your ridge lines. So you can go ahead and set your hang of your hammock and be super comfortable all the time with a whoopee sling. These things are awesome for ridge lines. Great stuff. Check out the magic of this whoopee sling. So if we're finding it's a little bit too high and we want to lay more out this way, basically what you do is you've got this little stopper here, this little bead on here stops your whoopee sling from going all the way through. We don't want that to happen. Now, what you can do is you pull this way, and you can see this guy's getting shorter, right? Full hammock drops, gets done. Now, you just run your fingers along there, tighten it back up again. Now, if we want this thing to go back up again, because I'm finding the angle's a little bit on the shallow side, we take our whoopee sling, we pinch the cord, and we pull this way, and then we rub our fingers down, and that'll lock it back in, just like the Chinese finger trap. And this thing is not going anywhere. You can pull on it all you want. Now, I used to have a suspension system on one of my old hammocks with whoopee slings. Very nice, but it has its own issues as well. So that said, here we are. We got our whoopee sling set up. We got a ridge line set up. I got the ridge line high enough so I could sit in the hammock and it's not going to whack me in the head. Everything is perfect. So these whoopee sling ridge lines are fantastic. The only thing I'm going to have to add to this is just a little keeper for the extra am steel or spectre cord or whatever you want to call this thing. Just a little Velcro bit to hold it up there and have it stay there. And then we'll be in business. These little organizers are key whenever you want to keep some stuff at hand while you're inside of your hammock. Flashlight, slingshot in this case. Got the old companion hanging out here with me today. No matter what, you've got all the things that you need on hand, close by. Another thing, key. Double-end stuff sack. So I don't even have to let my hammock hit the ground when I'm setting it up. Basically, I'm gonna unattach one side, put the lock nut on, drag it all the way down the other end while I'm stuffing it inside the stuff sack. Get over there, do the same thing. After that, take down my straps, pop them in on either end, and that's it. We're done, ready to go. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there in bed or in my hammock, reaching around from the outside, trying to pull my my under blanket back into position because it slipped out from under me somehow from me tossing or moving around, and I end up getting a frozen butt. These guys here, I'm going to attach little carabiners, attach them to the side of the hammock to make sure that the under blanket stays in position, and there will not be any more freezing butt at night, which is super sweet. These little tabs kind of sewn in to the edge, which is pretty cool because I'm going to use these guys to keep my under blanket in place. Now, the quality of everything on this thing has kind of got me blown away for what I paid for it. You can see right here, all the stitching is just perfectly straight. Well done. All the reinforcements and all the tabs Looks done really, really well. Nice and sturdy. Some bar stitching there. Everything's on this thing's going to be nice and sturdy. The comfort is kind of off the hook. The material feels really comfortable, and there's no seams inside. So it's one giant wide piece of ripstop nylon, which is great. You know, the setup that you get with this hammock is really off the hook. So many good, smart things on here. You could tell it's been designed by people who actually go out and hammock camp, which is really nice. I've paid way more for a setup than what I paid for this, and it's not nearly as good or as easy to use or anything. Today was my first time setting this guy up. We got out here. It was up in, what, a minute, maybe two, max. And if I was to put the tarp and the under blanket on it, it would probably be, I could probably get the whole thing set up ready to go in under 10 minutes. Easily under 10 minutes. So for me, that's an absolute win. I think we're going to have to get out here and do another overnighter, and we're going to talk about the tarp setup, which is absolutely genius what they've done with their tarps. I say genius, I mean genius with that tarp. And the under blanket too. They've done something really, really smart that'll actually get you way down into the zeros if you ever need to, which is pretty good. So we're gonna have to test that out and see how those feel. But for the most part, this is an absolute win. I can't wait to get out and try this thing out. So I gotta tell you, we've got setup, quick and easy setup. Price point, on point. The features that are on this thing, fantastic. Setup is easy. Take up, take down, not a problem. Quality is very good. All the stitching, everything on everywhere around this thing is nice and straight. Good bar stitching, supports, everything like that all the way around. For the price point that you're paying and getting a hammock with all these features, you know, the bug net, the whoopee sling ridge line, the cinch buckles. It's good for 500 pounds. No seams inside the bed. It's just a win all the way around. It's fantastic. So I guess to wrap this one up, guys, if you're interested, we're going to go ahead and in the description below, you're going to see a link to this hammock along with a coupon code, ATO Mark, that'll get you 5% off. If you're interested in getting a hammock, go right ahead. If you follow that link, it actually helps out my channel, so I appreciate it a lot. But I hope, from what I've shown you on this hammock here today, that you trust that I'm shooting you straight here, because this hammock is an absolute win. So anybody who's looking to get out there and explore the wilderness, do it in one of these things, and you're going to sleep like a baby. All right, so coming up in a later video, we're going to be talking about the tarp, which is the tarp of all tarps, in my opinion, and we're going to be talking about the under blanket. So we're going to wrap this one up. You guys take care, stay safe, get up, practice, be good to each other. I will see you again soon. I love you guys. You're freaking awesome. Bye for now.